different.
Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In case you're new here, my name is Maren.
And I'm Maureen.
Right. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the obvious subject, Somalis, right? And for some reason, the Somali community have an identity crisis. They just cannot decide whether they're black or Arab.
Right. And we see this confusion in their community, whereas there are those who truly believe they're black, right? Because they're from Africa and they're Africans, right? And there are those who believe that they're Black Caucasians.
Imagine that. Somalis would rather be white adjacent, and this is the reason why a lot of them voted for Donald Trump. And just like Latinos, they really thought they were white adjacent, and they didn't think that the laws that Trump was going to pass was going to be affecting them. But guys, we don't want to talk a lot. Let's just watch the confusion that is in the Somali community, and then we come back and talk about it.
Right. Sometimes I often wonder or ask myself if Somali would ever get to a point where they reach an agreement or a consensus about their identity and who they are, because as of right now, most of them who identify as anything else other than African or black, I do believe they wish that they would have been born in Arabic countries that are white.
I can't believe
say Lebanon or the other Islamic states that have white Arabs.
Guys, and in this compilation, we are even going to see a Somali man who clearly says he is not black, he is Somali, and he is not African. He is Somali from the African continent, but he is not African, you know. And I'm like, my goodness, what kind of education does this group of people get? And just like the North Africans and this kind of Somalis, these people really truly do not believe that they're either African or black.
But you know what? The difference between Somalia and the North African states have... what difference they do have. Africans have actually accepted and resigned to the fact that North Africans are not necessarily Africans. They are descendants of white people who came and whiteified the black populations that were there, like for example in Egypt. But in East Africa, Somalia, they're really bringing confusion into this continent. They're black, they're from East Africa, and
they don't want to be identified as such. But guys, let's watch and then we come back with our commentaries. Also, remember to leave your comments on what you think about this episode. Also, consider subscribing if it's your first time here, right? Let's watch.
Why did I see a tweet today talking about the fact that Trump is targeting Somali people in Minnesota is going to put Black Americans at risk? I don't think so. I think that Black Americans and Somali people don't look anything alike, first of all. Second of all, they don't even consider themselves black. You think that a person, any person, can't tell the difference between a Black American and a Somali person? I don't think so. I think that you can tell the difference between a Somali person and a Black American person. Like, I really do. And I'm just saying.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it. All right, everyone is keep asking, why don't Somalis want to identify as black? It's simple. The term black was never a word to begin with. Yeah. The term black, it didn't come from Africa. It came from America. Hello, right? It was designed to separate slaves from Europeans. It was not designed to celebrate identity. It was to control it. Yeah. So when Somalis came to the West, we didn't suddenly become black. We were labeled.
I don't care who said first, but we are not black. We are Somalis, we are not black. I don't know how to explain you guys this. This is like 5 years we are fighting about this topic. Let's change it. Come on, guys. We are not black. Me and all of my countrymen, we are not black. Come on, guys. Accept the pain. Shh.
Are Somalis considered black? I'm sorry to be the one that sparks this debate, but it has to be done. I used to be of the opinion back in the day that, of course we're black. Somalis, look at our skin tone. But as the years went on, my opinion started to change. If you're asking, are Somali skin tone black? Then of course, yes, our skin tone is. But then I realized as the years went on, it's nothing to do with skin tone, because even people who are considered black come in different shades of black. I started to realize that when people ask whether Somalis are black, it's a reference to, are Somalis the same as other fellow African countries such as Nigeria, Ghana, and the countries within West Africa. And then I thought, no, we're not the same as those people. Yes, we're all from Africa, but a Moroccan isn't the same as a Nigerian, and a Nigerian isn't the same as a Somali. A Moroccan isn't considered black, a Nigerian is considered black, and a Somali, for some reason, it sparks a big debate. You got Somalis who say, we're not black, we didn't go through a slave trade. I don't think going through a slave trade is what makes you considered black first. And at the same time, why are we listening to Western societies who categorize people based on their skin tones? This is a white man, this is a black man, this is whatever, this is an Arab. So my question is, because I still don't have a definitive answer, can Somalis consider themselves black? I mean, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just asking.
My black people, please stop asking me. Stop telling me I'm African. I am not. I am Somali. That is my ethnicity. Africa is a continent. I am from the continent of Africa, but I am Somali ethnically.
Somali people and their obsession with Black History Month. Let's break it down. The people you call black don't consider you as black. How funny is that? I said this before. Black is not a color. Black is the absence of color. Black is not a color. Black is just a shade. Look into the color theory, the color spectrum. The darkest color is violet. You can mix colors, red, green, purple, and get white. You can mix colors and never get black. Because from a scientific standpoint, black is not a color. Black is just a social construct. Do not insult me or my ancestors by calling me black, okay? When the first European came to Somalia, they called us Caucasian, dark Caucasians. My hair is different, nose different, facial structure different, even voice tonality and voice frequency, totally different. When you call Chinese people yellow, they get offended. When you call me black or Black History Month in Somalia, I get offended.
If you really believe that, then baby, you're gonna have a hard time in this world. Good luck.
What do you think about Somalis? Yeah, they say that they're not black.
That is their highest fuck.
So you men are black, yeah?
Yeah, hell yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Yo, let me ask you that. Why is there such a big spectrum for white people? Like, they go from Russia to fucking, I don't give a fuck. Spain, Spanish people are white.
Bro,
fucking Arabs are white. They're all white, but like, and then when it comes to Africans, why can't there be a spectrum? Why can't it be one side to the other side? Black is black, bro. Look at our complexion. How you say we're not black? I mean, what?
Like, it's literally, we're the same.
Bro, we're all see this fucking world. He's like, what? Like, we're all the same, bro.
You're taking a piss out of us.
What the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? You know what it is too? I understand that some people feel like, because people used to take a piss out of Somalis. When we were growing up, they'd be like, oh, you're not black. That's what they used to say to us. Do you feel like, so there's a lot of people that they'd be like, you know what? We're not black. All right, we're not black. Fuck off.
Do you feel like it's based off like culture though? Because like when people think of black, they think of black culture, like African culture, Jamaican culture.
Bro, Somalis are very homogenous. We're just very we've never been really.
Do you know what I don't understand? Yeah, I don't understand that people that say Somalis are not black. Yes, you are black. In fact, let the police in America decide if you're black. Yeah. Well, I clock Somalis. Yeah, us Somalis, we actually have an identity crisis. Cause one day we're not black. Like I'll be chatting to one of my Somali friends. He'll be like, yeah, he's black. Then I look at my other friend. He'll be like, no, I'm not black. Nigga, why are you then? Don't say the M word. Don't even say it. And do you know what clock as well? Yeah, it's the darkest Somalis that say they're not black. It'll be the dark ones. It'll be the darkest. No, I'm not black, bro. I'm not black. You know what? Yeah, who cares? Who cares if you're black or not? Wallah, who cares? Every black people use Vaseline. Every black. So why do Somalis use Vaseline? I don't see any Caucasian person using Vaseline in their face. So when you're writing your ethnicity on a job application, for example, it says black British, black Somali. The first word is black. So you guys are black. Please stop it, guys. I'm done with this. We are black.
We're not black, we're not Arab, we're Somali. Let me start off by why we're not black. This is black, this is brown, and there's not a single person in the world that's this skin color. Do your research. Black is the absence of color. It's what you get when there's no color. It's what you get when you turn off the light. You get black. And yes, I know there's going to be those people that say Somalis or East Africans are in that racial construct, that racial typology, that racial classification. But no. Who made this thing? Who made this racial classification? It was the Europeans. The white man made it. And if a white man told me I'm a prick, doesn't mean I have to go by it. In my opinion, there's not a single person on this world, whether you're West African, East African, North African, South African, or even in the Caribbean, that's black. We are not this color. We are just different shades of brown. And I believe some people, like the East Africans, don't accept what the colonial people told them they are. And other people obviously accept it and they don't care what a colonial or the people that enslaved them calls them. So right now, you're telling me if they called you back then, if they called you you're a prick or you're an idiot, you'll just accept it right now and you say, yeah, us Africans are idiots, we're pricks. Is that what you're telling me? Do the Asians call themselves yellow or red? I wonder. Now, for the reason why we're not Arab, yes, we may be in the Arab League. That doesn't make us Arab. We just did that for political time. Somali people came before the Arabs. The East African people came before the Arabs. We are Cushitic people. We are Cushitic speaking people. And the Cushitic language and the Cushitic people came before the Arabs. So you can't tell me we're Arab if we came before them.
I don't care if I'm the first person to say this, but us Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black. Let me ask you a question. Are Moroccans and Egyptians black? Tradition, our history, our culture are so much more different compared to these other countries that are actually black. Joshibil, if you're not black, what are you? I'm Somali. Let me ask you a question. If you were to see a very dark Indian man, would he be identified as a black person or just an Indian?
Bro, come on, bro. You're making me really look bad. Man, what the hell wrong with you, man? These children are crazy up in here. Listen, bro. If you have black skin color, you are black. You don't see my face. You don't see your own face. What's going on? Somalis are black. They are both African and black. They are African because Somalia is in Africa. And they are black because we have black skin color. Black is not being black is not a race. It's not an ethnicity. It's a skin color. So if you have black skin color, you are black. I don't care what country you're from. India, Pakistan, Tajikistan. I don't care. It does not matter. If you have black skin color, you are just black.
So guys, welcome back. Let us know what you think about the videos we just played you, yeah? You know, sometimes it really gets hard to defend Somalis because while some of them during this deportation season that has hit for them is happening, some of them were crying out to the black community to ask them for help, and some of them have started claiming the black identity, you know, I guess to sort of appeal to the black community in America, but it's not happening because a lot of them are still denying they are not black, which the arguments are not even making sense.
Right, of which I do understand to some degree that nobody is black because we are all brown when it comes down to it. We are brown. Others dark brown, others light brown, but we are all brown. But
in
at
the
the end
concept of race,
in the concept of race, as we all know, when a white cap sees you, they all categorize black people as black people, you know.
Right. Even the argument you can put forward according to the Somalis argument, which I understand what they are saying, is why are white people also being referred to white when this is white? You know, white people don't look like this, right?
They're pink.
They're pink, if you can say that, right?
Okay. Or they're cream.
They're pink. Because look at how pigs look. And I'm not saying this to insult anybody, yeah?
They're not cream.
Pigs.
No.
White people. They are pink and they are pale. They're not cream. Cream, you're talking about people of color. Okay, you're talking about racially ambiguous people.
No, okay, I don't know, but
yeah, but this is white, guys. So if you start moving around with this argument, you'd also say white people are not white because this is white and this is black, right?
Right.
But because we are moving,
what Somali people don't get is when they deny their identity in the black community, like universally, how it makes black people feel. Because Somalians, most of them, they often say the reason why they're not black, it's because they have a different hair texture from black people. So they often usually think that they are white adjacent or Arabic, white Arabs, you know. So they're adjacent to white Arabs more than they are adjacent to black people.
And this is quite sad, really, because from experience, guys, we can tell you that here in Kenya, we live with a lot of Somalis.
Right.
And these people literally feel like they're better than other black people.
Than Kenyans.
Right.
And most of them usually actually go to a point where they insult regular looking Kenyans like us because of our hair. They call us a slur called Jahir. And I know most Somalis, if you're in this platform, you know what I'm talking about.
Right? So a lot of us are called Jahir because of the texture of our hair. And they're very proud to use these derogatory terms on people who are not Somalis, you know.
Or people who don't have their texture of hair, you know. And I guess this is why other black people in Africa usually take offense to Somalis because of their way of going about them refusing their identity, of which right now I think it's becoming it's being normalized for people to let Somalis go the direction they want to, because all of us know that when they go to these Arabic countries, they're seen and treated as black people.
Right. And the most unfortunate thing is for you to remove yourself from a group of people. And then, do you know the power of unity and how beautiful it is when something happens to you and there are people from other communities, just because of the shared similarity or that common factor you have.
Struggle.
Exactly. For people to come in and step in and help you. But Somalis are forfeiting this because by them saying that they're not black, they really give up the, privilege they could have of one day identifying as black and just grouping themselves with other black people who could then help them. This makes them an easy target to be, like what
racially profiled.
Exactly.
Because when they're profiled, nobody else is willing to step in for them or on their behalf because they have already annihilated themselves from their community, right? And even here in Kenya, most Kenyans usually get along with Somalis, but for those Somalis who usually discriminate regular looking Kenyans, and imagine you're both black but another black person discriminates you despite having the same skin color as you, simply because they think they have better hair than you.
Right. And guys, can we talk about the fact that the Somali communities, they're very steadfast on not marrying outside their community, especially if that marriage would
bring them children with kinky hair.
Exactly, the Jahirs, right? They don't allow their people to marry outside their culture if it's going to be with a black person. But guys, I've seen even here in Kenya, Somali community where women are getting married to white men, and that is really telling, and it speaks volumes, because if this white man is allowed into the Somali community, so religion is not a problem.
And he doesn't
there,
even
right?
have to change his religion.
Right. Although I've seen some of them wearing that outfit that Somalis do wear, Somali men wear, meaning that he has taken up the culture and their religion. But if they move to America, do you think that man is going to live as per the woman's culture? No, but because he doesn't have Jahir's hair,
he's accepted to marry into the Somali community.
Yeah. And these are the things that make people look at Somalis sideways, And I'm just saying right now, you can't really expect other people of color or other groups from the black community to come and speak on your behalf when
you've annihilated yourself from the very community you want help from.
Right. And you don't waste a chance to insult people from the black community and to separate yourselves from that community. And we are in the era of really people saying this is not the era of forcing things. If you want to go, let them go. They'll go out there and find out for themselves. And right now they're finding out for themselves.
Yeah, and we are just waiting to see, because right now what all this is displaying is that Somali has a really they have a long way to go in terms of working on themselves, because this right now pretty much looks like a them issue instead of the whole community of black people. It is a them issue because they have been since time immemorial trying to make black people, normal regular black people, see the difference of what them versus black people are, and right now people have been seeing that difference for a long time. For them to just leave them to their own, for them to work on their own internalized
problems,
usually called
identity crisis.
Yes, self-hating identity crisis,
and this makes them easy pickings.
Right.
Like, you can literally give,
it's like having a wolf without a pack.
Guys,
right now
the meaning, right? The meaning of a lone wolf out there. They have to move in a pack in order to survive. And right now, Somalis are wolves without moving around without their pack, And they're making Donald Trump's work quite easy, if I might say so, because it's quite hard to pick on a group of people who are showcasing unity compared to those ones who've separated themselves. It's quite easy to, destroy that group. And that is what Trump is banking on, just like this is the similarities they have with the Latinos,
And the saddest part is that in Minnesota, in as much as they like to say they're not black, they're this and the other, and they're different from the black American community, the fact is that their dollar was black dollar, and right now that black dollar is being dismantled because they couldn't get their together.
Right, guys. Anyway, I guess this should be a learning lesson, but it's so deep-rooted into them that should they even be taken back to Somalia, a lot of them will still say they're not black. If you're not black, why are you being picked up, on? Because I've not seen white immigrants go through this kind of scrutiny,
And I know in America there are a lot of white immigrants from Ukraine, from Russia, from Netherlands, from wherever white people come from. Most of them are in America.
From the Middle East,
But the ones from Middle East, they have that
they have specific features.
So they also sometimes be discriminated upon. But white people from other places, they look more alike than the ones from Middle East.
Okay, let's wait and see if the Arab brothers will come to their aid.
Yeah,
but
because
I feel
they identify more with the Arabs than...
And then also
Africans.
Because they have Eurocentric features, a lot of their population, they really do believe they're white. There was one who was literally saying here they're dark Caucasians, guys. So anyway, let us know what you think about these very lovely dark Caucasians. And do you think, I feel like they voted for what they're getting right now. And if they don't clock it, like there's a lot of doom that is coming their way if they continue behaving in such a manner,
Right, because right now I'm thinking to myself, you remember, guys, when we did yesterday episode where white Europeans don't want white Americans. So I'm just thinking to myself, if white Caucasians from Europe don't want white Caucasians from America, what makes Somalis think that they'll enter that chat group as dark Caucasians and they'll be accepted amongst the rank of white Caucasians?
And already they say they're not black, so why are you referring to yourself as dark Caucasians? Anyway, we'll leave it at that, guys. Let us know what you think about this episode on the comment section. Also consider subscribing if it's your first time here, and we'll catch you on our next episode.